Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for coming back and checking out another video. You are officially the MVP. Just saying. Chances are if you're here watching this right now is because you have ran into the American Reacts to Azerbaijani music series, and it was actually posted about 5 months ago, and out of nowhere, I don't know what happened, but one of you guys said,
"Hey, let's take over his comment section."
Which, thank you, but don't forget I have an Instagram. On a serious note, a lot of people have been messaging me about the series on Instagram. If you have any feedback you would love to give me, feel free to message me over that way. But nonetheless, today we're here coming back with yet another video because I want to now find out a little bit more about the actual people from Azerbaijan, and I really hope that my pronunciation has gotten significantly better in the process. The video we're going to be checking out is about an amazing YouTube channel that goes by the name of Geography. Now, if you would like to check out the original video, it's going to be linked down below in the description box. What I usually check out is a little bit of like a more trimmed and more polished version of it, so this is going to be exciting. So I'm very excited to learn more about your beautiful country here today. Let's check it out.
It's time to learn geography.
Now! Hey everybody, I'm your host.
I love the intro.
Let's dissect the flag. The flag of Azerbaijan is a tricolor banner of blue, red, and green with the white crescent and star emblem in the center. The blue represents the Turkic heritage of the people, the red represents progress and social democracy, and the green represents the Islamic civilization. The crescent, of course, you would think means Islam, and it does, kind of. However, the Azerbaijanis and Turks will tell you that this
I wasn't aware of how present the Islam culture was actually in Azerbaijan.
And the 8-pointed star, some people will tell you that the star
I've just recently been finding that out.
like the Dumbuli, Kizilbash, and etc., but it actually represents the 8 letters of the word Azerbaijan written in Arabic, even though Azerbaijan has adopted a Latin-based alphabet. Moving on.
Well, that's what I thought. I was like, isn't it a Latin-based, like, alphabetical...
If you look at Azerbaijan's borders, it kind of looks like a crazy bird flying while it's losing one big feather. Located in the Central Caucasus region of Eurasia, Azerbaijan is bordered by 5 other countries. You would think 4, but we'll talk about this little guy in a sec. And the mighty Caspian Sea to the east. The capital is Baku, right along the coast of the Caspian, and the country is divided into 9 regions and 1 interesting autonomous republic. We'll talk about that soon, but first, now, as we mentioned in the Armenia video, we did talk about the Nagorno-Karabakh region and how there's a lot of tension and conflict. First of all, do not call it a republic to an Azerbaijani. They will get mad at you. The Nagorno-Karabakh region is not recognized as a sovereign state by any...
Thanks for the heads up, Barbie.
And today
Appreciate you.
As a de jure region of Azerbaijan, even though Azerbaijanis avoid going there. Then you have the strange but quirky separated exclave known as the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic in the west, bordered by Armenia and Turkey. By the way, the Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic is not a separate country. It is part of Azerbaijan. They don't want to be separate. This area is the only part of Azerbaijan that has access to Turkey for a very, very narrow 8 or so kilometer border along the Araz River. The only problem is, because of the whole border blockade, if someone from Nakhchivan wants to go to the rest of Azerbaijan by road, they would have to literally cross over into Iran and drive along the 12 highway paralleling the Araz River all the way to the nearest main crossing at the Milmugan Dam, nearly 50 miles from the technical border of Armenia.
Wow. So if they would get along, like if Armenia and Azerbaijan would get along, it would have been just faster to get there.
Now, although Armenia isn't fighting for ownership of Nakhchivan, essentially this is what each side of the argument is saying. Nakhchivan, stop destroying the ancient Armenian sites and monuments in the Nakhchivan region as a means to erase all the Armenian culture from the area. Those claims are nothing more than just Armenian propaganda based on no actual evidence. Plus, those aren't even Armenian.
Trouble in paradise.
Albanian. Oh yeah, well I'm gonna take this to the EU court. Go ahead! I'm not telling you.
Try me, bro.
Let's go back to Baku, shall we? Located on the Absheron Peninsula, or the Bird's Beak of Azerbaijan that juts out into the Caspian, the capital of Baku is not only the largest city and the best harbor in the Caspian Sea, but is a breathtakingly beautiful wonder with its world-famous flame towers completed in 2012. Also, keep in mind, Baku has the world's largest KFC.
Done. That's it. I'm going.
Thing, though, is that Azerbaijan was actually the first Muslim-majority democratic secular country in the world, and they were also the first Muslim-majority country in the world to have theaters, operas, and modern-day universities.
Ooh,
Azerbaijan
fancy.
still holds on to its ancient artifacts and historical sites, such as the famous Maiden's Tower and the even more captivating underwater Sabayil Castle, known as the Atlantis of the Caspian.
I'm gonna want to Google that. That sounds interesting.
We need to talk about the... Now this is where things get a little interesting because the landscape of Azerbaijan has some pretty cool tricks up its sleeve. For one, the land is about half mountainous, with the Caucasus mountain ranges dominating the north and west parts of the country.
That's where the Caucasus Mountains are. I could have Googled it, but I never did.
Down the Caucasus, yet the mild Caspian Sea effect, the climate can be quite drastically opposing depending on where you are. Azerbaijan has this kind of strange terrain phenomena in which it has cold alpine mountains right next to these dry subtropical zones right next to the coast in which you can find things like orange, orange and lemon groves and tea plantations, which kind of need a warmer climate to grow in. By the way,
That is so weird.
They kind of obsess over it. They even made multiple monuments to tea.
Aww.
The place where things get really interesting, though, would have to be in the Gobustan region south of Baku. One of the world-renowned landforms that Azerbaijan would have to be known for would have to be its famous mud volcanoes. About half of all the world's mud volcanoes are found right here in Gobustan.
What?
Another cool thing is that
This is a
Azerbaijan
very regular phenomenon?
petroleum deposits, which make up about 80% of the economy. And because of this, over time, Azerbaijan has built a mind-bogglingly complex and elaborate yet strikingly mesmerizing system of trestles, pipelines, and causeways that connect the oil
What the heck?
reservoirs offshore in the middle of the Caspian. In fact, in 1949, Azerbaijan actually built the world's first offshore.
That is pretty insane, dude.
Speaking of countries of the oil developing world, let's talk about...
Dude, I'm like being so mind blown right now.
Now, very few people actually understand what an Azerbaijani is, let alone where they came from, or even how to even pronounce Azerbaijan. We'll discuss more about that in a bit, but first, Azerbaijan has roughly 9.5 million people, or roughly the same size as Sweden, and ethnically it's quite homogenous, with 91% of the people identifying as ethnically Azerbaijani, and the remainder of the 9% minority coming from a slew of other nationalities and people groups, the largest populations coming from Russians, Lezgins, Talish, and believe it or not, Armenians. However, that's more in reference towards the Armenians living
Probably
in
closer to the
Karabakh
border.
region, as it's pretty much impossible or incredibly rare to find any Armenian living anywhere else in Azerbaijan. But who are the Azerbaijanis?
Probably to avoid
Some people will
conflicts,
tell
you
that
know.
they are descended from the Persians, others might tell you the Caucasian Albanians, not to be confused with modern-day Albanians. That's a completely different thing.
Ah.
The general consensus
Don't confuse
is
the
that
Albanians,
Azerbaijanis
man.
today are Turks or Turkic people, not to be confused with Turkish people from Turkey, although they are very close cousins. Yeah, in the world of geographical sociology, a lot of things sound like other things, but they aren't exactly the same things as those.
I feel that, man. It's like math. I just don't get
Very
it.
close to the Turkish language, and people can travel interchangeably between both countries and relatively understand each other. It's like Spanish and Portuguese. Now, what's really interesting is that Azerbaijan
That's a good reference. A really good reference.
Muslim Shia majority.
I actually speak Spanish. Don't know if you guys knew that.
Interesting culture dynamic in which the majority of people identify as culturally Muslim rather than consistently devout and observant Muslim. This type of social coherence really
Oh, so a little bit more like open?
country, as it's very noticeable.
That's pretty cool.
In the way how it operates. Women are allowed to wear whatever they want and are not required to wear hijabs or burqas, and religious freedom is allowed. All right, well, moving on.
I like that. It's pretty intense. I love that.
To put it simply, Azerbaijan has a long history of friends, but also some surprising new people that they just started to kind of click with. Today, Azerbaijan has diplomatic relations with over 160 countries, mostly centralized in Europe and Asia. Azerbaijan's immediate neighbors to the north and south, Georgia and Iran, have always had cordial relations with Azerbaijan and have open borders and trade agreements. When it comes to Russia, though, things are a little hit or miss. Yes,
That was my first time seeing the Georgian flag.
to Russia, and they have been
That was intriguing.
in partnerships. However, most Azerbaijanis disapprove of the relations with Russia, mostly because they are more supportive of Armenia in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict and even took part in fights like the Khojali massacre. Pakistan is kind of like the fangirl of Azerbaijan. Pakistan cheers for Azerbaijan and recognizes their side of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, and has even gone so far as to even unrecognize Armenia as a state. Strangely enough, though, Azerbaijan
Hey,
is actually
someone you want to have in your corner at that point.
that actually gets along pretty well with Israel. They provide Israel with fuel, and Israel provides them with agricultural and technological assistance. The Jewish
Wow, even though they're Muslim?
peacefully within Azerbaijan for over 1,500 years. Persecution was virtually unknown to the Jewish community in Azerbaijan.
That is
which also served as a
insane.
safe haven for Jews fleeing from the Holocaust. And finally, we get to Turkey. Turkey, as you can probably guess, is without a doubt Azerbaijan's best friend. Despite the Sunni-Shia difference, they have the closest ties culturally,
Awesome.
linguistically, and diplomatically. Turkey also supports Azerbaijan in nearly all of their disputes and conflicts, like a proud older brother. There's a saying
Aw.
between them. The two of them are one nation, two countries. In conclusion,
My
I can
heart.
guarantee you there's pretty much no place like Azerbaijan. I mean, it's a Shia Muslim majority, yet kind of secular country that drinks wine and gets along with Israel and has mud volcanoes. What?
Dude, that was absolutely freaking incredible. Like, there is so much that I want to start off by saying. So, like, let me just say, first things first, I love the fact that the Exclaves is just so weird. So, once again, I want to make sure I pronounce the name right. But, Nakhchivan, even though it is separate, like, it is still a part of Azerbaijan. The only time I have seen this, like, has been actually with, like, Russia and Kaliningrad. So, I thought it was pretty crazy. Very few times I have seen this, and this just absolutely blew my mind. I would have assumed it was a different part. So, big thank you to Barbie for clearing that up in my brain. What I wasn't aware of was of this whole conflict going on with Armenia and Azerbaijan. Now, mind you, I don't want to get political in this, and I really do hope that you guys try to get along with everybody that you guys encounter. But nonetheless, it really did blow my mind that there was such a hostile emotion towards each other. But it's kind of saddening to see that you guys are almost like avoiding like a certain section because of like the conflict that's going on there. And of course, I know that Armenia has had somewhat of like, I don't want to say influence, but nonetheless, it has had somewhat of an impression left within the culture. And so I could see why some of you guys are trying to like move past that, but I could also see why it could be like as taken offensive, as a matter of fact. Anyways, I don't want to dive too much into that. I hope you guys at least have one Armenian friend. That'd be pretty cool, that you could share this video with. I'm just saying. So little did I know, I had heard more or less like previous things of people mentioning like mud volcanoes, but I had never actually like looked into it or even Googled the whole thing. And now to find out that you guys are home to like the majority of them, that's pretty crazy. Be careful with mud volcanoes. Never know when you could step into one and be blown away. No, not sure why, but when Barbie mentioned the whole thing about like the mountains of Caucasus, I thought of one scene.
That is Caucasian from the mountains of Caucasus.
Anyways, I do know this video is slightly outdated. He did mention that the population is currently sitting like at 9.5 million. I recently did my research and found out that there's currently 10 million departing from 2019. So great job, you guys are going up. I think the most interesting and mind-boggling thing is when I saw that you guys have made such intricate little patterns like in the water in order to get to like these oil rigs, and that's absolutely cool. I really hope that someone was like, you know what, how about we make like some floating house, like, you know, like really touristic point. Like I could see that being like absolutely major, and I know I would love to go to one of those. I think Barbie's reference about like Portuguese and Spanish was pretty awesome because that just made me realize and imagine how close the Azerbaijani language is actually with the Turkish one, or at least to a point where you guys can understand each other. So pretty darn awesome. Anyways, if you guys think there was any major details or any minor details here that were wrong or they were missing, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. I always have so much fun getting the chance to read right through them. If you guys were not aware, we did make a music episode like I mentioned at the beginning. I'm going to be linking that one down in the description box next to some of my social media pages, so definitely take the chance and check it out. We also do have a P.O. box right over here where you can send a postcard, which I collect. But if you would love to send one over, just please let me know. I would love to personally thank you. It's just more to the collection. Anyways, my friends, this is getting longer than necessary. Stick around, there's more videos at the end of this one. And until next time, my friends, hasta la pasta, and I'll be seeing you guys on the flip side. Bye.